Hello and welcome to eLearning Campus. In today's class, we'll discuss about some other type of system software. In previous class, we discussed about operating system, the first type of system software. I'll attach the link here on the top. So today's topic is utility programs and language processors. First, let's start with the utility programs. Utility software performs specific tasks usually related to managing a computer, its device, or its programs. These programs assist in the smooth functioning of the computer system and help it to perform better. Sometimes utility help you to avoid virus attack, the backup of data, recover data that has been accidentally erased, etc. Antivirus backup, common disk repair, file management, compression, and network programs are some examples of utility programs. You can buy various utility programs from the licensed computer stores. Some utility programs are also available free of cost on the internet. Basically, utility programs refer to small programs which provide additional capabilities to the computer system. They enable operating system to perform some additional tasks like searching of a file, printing of a file, scanning, etc. So let's have a look the different types of utility programs. First we have network utility, then file manager utility, third is disk management, fourth is scanning or we can say antivirus utility, fifth is backup utility and sixth is compression. Let's start with the network utility. Network utility checks the network connectivity and configuration of network devices. It also examines the network speed and performance, monitor network traffic from the console and track the bandwidth usage. Second, we have file manager utility. File manager utility helps the user to perform various operations on files like viewing a file, editing a file, copying a file and deleting a file. It also helps in managing files and folders and organizing them in a computer storage device. So any task related to the file handled by file manager utility. Next we have disk management utility. Disk management utility enables a user to view and manage the disk drives installed in a computer, whether it will be a hard disk or a SSD. It can be used to partition drives, format drives, assign drive letters and much more. So it means anything or any operation related to the disk, our hard disk drive or our SSD drives are handled by disk management utility. Fourth, we have scanning or we can say antivirus utility. So scanning, the act of examining the computer system, our drives or files for possible virus or malware attack is known as scanning. And this scanning is done by antivirus utility. The utility provides protection to your computer against virus attacks. So it includes tools to recover lost files and protect your machine against a system failure. You should keep on updating your computer with the latest version of antivirus programs from the internet to ensure that it is able to detect and fight every incoming virus threats. Examples of antivirus software are Quick Hill, Avast, AVG, Norton, etc. You can scan your drives, pen drives and entire computer system using antivirus software. Next we have backup. This is a process of recovering data in case of damage or accidental loss. Occasionally a hard disk may fail, resulting in the loss of all files stored in it. Hence, an intelligent user keeps a backup of his files on various secondary storage devices like CDs, flash drives, etc. so that the original files can be restored of such failures. So basically backup is nothing but copying or storing our file at some other device or on the cloud so that we can recover our files back whenever we need it. So data loss is very common and has caused serious problems for many organizations and individuals. Hence, it is essential to have a regular data backup from time to time. Next, we have compression. Compression is a process that shrinks file so that less disk space is occupied. Compression or data compression is used to reduce the size of one or more files. When a file is compressed, it takes up less disk space than an uncompressed version and can be transferred to other systems more quickly. Therefore, compression is often used to save disk space and reduce the time needed to transfer files over internet. Sometimes compression utility software compressed 100 MB of file into 10 MB of files. It's totally depend on the software you are using. These files cannot be read directly and must be decompressed to their actual form before use. So the most common software are WinZip, PKZip, 7-zip, etc. So you already heard about the zipped folder, or you heard the word compressed folder. These are nothing but the compressed files so that we can transfer our file or store our file in less disk space. So compression is the process with the help of which we can shrink the files and store it in the less disk space. Let's have a look at the backup process now. So in your textbook also you will be having the step-by-step instruction how we can back up our data on our computer system. For that you need to go to your start button, control panel, and click on the backup and restore, and this kind of window will open on your screen. From here you need to click on setup backup icon and Windows will start the process of backup. The setup backup dialog box will appear on the screen. Select the drive where you want to save the backup of your file and then click on the next button. After that, the next screen appear that prompts what do you want to backup. You want to do it by your own, or you can select let Windows choose, so that Windows will choose what kind of data and what are the data they need to backup. So you will notice the let Windows choose option is selected by default. If you continue with this option, computer takes the backup of all the data stored in your computer and also creates a system image which can be used to restore your computer if it stops working. You can also opt for another option, let me choose, and pick those items which you want the computer to backup on regular schedule. After selecting the desired option, click on the next button. Here we are selected. The first option will stop the next window, prompt you to review your backup settings. So just click on next button. Now review the backup job and make sure everything appears correct. Here you can also schedule the days and time on which the backup occurs by clicking on change schedule option. Click on the save setting and run backup option. The backup process will start. So here we are done till with our utility software. Next topic is language processor. A language processor is a software program designed or used to perform tasks such as processing program code to machine code. You all know that a computer understands instruction in machine code, that is in the form of zeros and ones. It is a tedious task to write a computer program directly in machine code. The program are written mostly in high level languages. So here also you can see on the screen how can human talks to or instruct to a computer. So the answer is in computer languages. But the problem is our computer can understand languages in zeros and ones. So each software is created by writing program in computer languages like Java, C and C++ programs written in these languages cannot be recognized by a computer. Here, a language processor plays a vital role in translating the programming language into machine language. Means, whenever we want to give an instruction in our programming languages, whether it will be assembly language or high level language, we need a translator so that a translator program can translate our high level language into machine language, means in zeros and ones. So language processor is nothing but a translator program which can translate our programming language into machine languages. Now there are three types of language processors. First is assembler, then interpreter and compiler. Assembler translate programs written in low level or assembly language into machine code, and compiler and interpreter translate programs written in high level languages into machine code that a computer can understand. So here you can see our assembler can convert assembly language program, but our assembler can convert assembly language program into machine code, but interpreter and compiler both can convert high level language program into machine code. Then what is the difference between interpreter and compiler? So we'll discuss it in the next few slides. First, let's have a look what is assembler. An assembler is a translator that converts the code written in assembly language into machine language. We need an assembler to fill the gap between human and machine so that they can communicate with each other. The code written in assembly language in some sort of mnemonics. Mnemonics means a certain kind of instruction. Like for addition, we just need to write ADD, add. For multiplication, we just need to write MUL. So in this way, we need to code our language in certain kind of instruction, and the assembler is basically able to convert these mnemonics in binary codes. So there are many types of assembly languages. The current most popular are ARM, MIPS and x86 ARM is used on lots of cell phones and many embedded systems also. Next we have interpreter. So I told you that interpreter and compiler both will convert high level languages into machine code. But there is a difference between interpreter and compiler. Our compiler will examine and translate a complete program in one go. But our interpreter can examine and translate the program instruction by instruction. An interpreter translates the program's code line by line and simultaneously executes a converted line. For example, if you have written a 10 instruction in your program, okay, and whenever you click on run, first it will take your first instruction, then your interpreter will examine your first instruction. If everything is correct, then it will call for the second instruction. Again it will examine the second instruction, and if second instruction is correct, then again it will call for the third instruction. But if there is any problem in first instruction, it will not go for the second instruction. At the same time it will interrupt, and it will terminate your program and send the error message that no, your code is wrong, this is your error, so you need to rectify, then only you can run your program again. That means our interpreter will take your code line by line, and if any errors are found, it displays the error and does not proceed till the error is rectified, and then repeats the procedure for the remaining instruction. So basically the translation of a single statement of the source program into machine code is done by a language processor and executes immediately before moving on to the next line is called an interpreter. If there is any error in the statement, the interpreter terminates it and translating process at the statement and display an error message. The interpreter moves on the text line for execution only after removal of the error. So the main point is it will take your instruction and examine your instruction code line by line. Next we have compiler. So compiler is a translator program that converts the whole program into equivalent machine code in one go. It generates the object code for the program along with the list of errors. Here you can see source code is here. So whether it will be a 10 line or 15 line source code, whenever you click on run, it will call for a compiler, then and your compiler will take your complete program in one go, examine your program. If any error will be there, then it will terminate your program at the end and it will give you the list of errors. And once you rectify the error, again it will whenever you click on run, it will call for a compiler, then compiler examine and then translate your code into machine code in one go. Means in a compiler, the source code is translated to object code or machine code successfully if it is free of errors. The compiler specifies the errors at the end of the compilation with line number. When there are any error in the source code, the error must be removed before the compiler can successfully recompile the source code again. Okay, so here I am saying high level languages means our languages like C++, Java, Python. These are the examples of high level languages. So here we are done with the topic utility software and language processor. If you like the video, please like it, share it and subscribe it. Thank you so much.